Joining us now to talk more about the experience at the rally is Plus TV Africa correspondent Mary Chinda. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Felicity.
Take us through what happened. How did a rally turn violent that way?
Well, much unexpectedly to all of us, as it turned out to be. It was a beautiful rally. A lot of people had gathered, and there were a lot of jubilation. I mean, party people from all across the state, and we're all waiting for the incumbent governor and the party's candidates to show up. And as soon as the governor began to speak, then the violence erupted just behind us, because we were all at the journalist stand, and you know it was a football field, and it was really rowdy. But then it was unusual. The eruption was quite unusual. Before we knew what was happening, you know, we had gunshots. Some persons emerged with machetes. Other people had daggers, and then the gunshots, you know, began to just...
We heard there's possible fatality, and someone was actually stabbed.
I can tell you something. I was lucky. My camera person and I were lucky to have even come out with our lives, because while it happened, we were still trying to film. Other journalists were still focused on the governor, because I mean there was a lot of fear of what could have possibly happened to the governor. So the security persons were trying to ensure that the governor was safe, and then we were still filming them. And just before you knew it, the journalist close to me had sustained a bullet wound, you know, and at that point we had to stop filming, because I mean it was already very volatile. And what surprised me was that while we got into that place, there were sufficient security personnel. There were a lot of security personnel. I mean, you would not believe that such a thing would happen. But then this again takes me back to 2018, when we also had issues, you know, of casualties at the APC Congress right here in Lagos. So it's something. I don't want to say it's something that it's a recurring decimal, but I think that it's something that should leave all of us worried. The presidential elections are just a few days or weeks away, and we really should get worried about this.
I mean, what are your thoughts about the dangers that journalists face, especially in scenarios like this? You're pointing out that this seems to be a recurrent decimal, violence and all of that. What do you think should be the measures journalists should take in situations like that to protect themselves?
I would say that the job is beautiful, but we should always also try to, as much as we want to get the stories, guard our lives. I mean, my camera person and I would have been shot as well, because we were just, you know, side by side with the other journalists who sustained injuries. So I think that we should be careful. We should try to get... We got the footages, you know, Plus TV got the footages, but our lives were also in danger. So we should also be wise about it, really.
Well, we're grateful you're here with us. Please be careful subsequently. Thank you very much, Mary Chinda.
Thank you very much, Felicity.